me in the dark are...
Hey everybody, this is A Hear Mew, and this is Moms on a Mission. Let's get right into it.
It's me elected.
Bars. She's so stupid.
My name is Camille Jones, and I'm a talk show host for our internet show called Convo. On that show, we teach people how to effectively communicate using face-to-face conversation as opposed to text messages or emails where things can be completely misconstrued. So we just want to teach people how to talk face-to-face, essentially.
So where did that initially come from? Like, when did that idea spark? Was there something that happened for you to come up with that idea, or did you just have that you always wanted to do this?
You know what? Meeting a lot of people and just seeing the way they communicate, that's really where it came from. Mm-hmm. And I know a lot of people can probably agree with me, when you're in a customer service situation, that's when you're like, that's where I'm getting the majority of the ideas of where to start the show. Mm-hmm. And I kept meeting people that would say some really rude things or things that they thought were okay, and they knew it wasn't until they met a person like myself. Mm. And I won't say I'll put them in their place, but I'll just have them contemplating, should I have said that?
Yeah.
So probably just personal experiences on a daily basis.
So for Convo, like, what keeps you motivated to keep going, like, on a day-to-day basis? Because I'm assuming, like, it has to be exhausting, like, working on a business.
It is, and the biggest thing that makes me want to keep doing it is a lot of people just don't know. And I love to educate, especially when it comes to communicating, because I can talk someone under the rug. Yeah. Be like, okay, are you done yet? No, I'm not. Look, I have like 3 more points. But just to keep educating, that's the main thing. In life, people don't understand that when you stop learning, you stop living.
Yes.
So if I can do my part by just teaching people how to talk, then why not? And it's okay for me not getting paid for it, because it's something that you love to do. Mm-hmm. You don't have to be compensated.
Yeah. If you could give somebody like 3 tips on how to communicate better, like, what would you give them?
Okay, is to gauge your audience. Mm-hmm. Every tone and language is not for everyone. So if you're coming from, let's just say, I'm trying to keep it politically correct. If you are coming from an upper class family, you wouldn't say things like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I'm talking about. When you go to an interview, that's not how you would speak. So gauge your audience. That's the first thing. The second thing is make sure that what you're speaking about is not one-sided, because it's not a conversation. If it's not going back and forth, the other person is no longer listening. Which brings me to my next tip, which is actively listening. So if you're only listening to respond and not listening to understand, then it's not even a conversation anymore.
I love that third one, because I think it's a habit that a lot of people have. Like,
yes.
I work as a consultant, and we're constantly talking with people, and we're trying to convince people how to, like, develop their software in a better method, in a better way.
Right.
And they're never listening. They're just ready for that.
Exactly.
Response, like, right away. And it's like, did you hear what I said?
No, because this is what I practice in the mirror. Mm-hmm. And when I didn't have a response, this is how it's supposed to go. Yes. So, no, what you have to say is irrelevant, even though you need input. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. Oh, and then rolling off of that, because, like, this is something I personally, like, fight with, like, every day. Like, how do you approach, like, having difficult conversations, like, when you know that this can turn, like, really ugly?
Definitely. So you have to turn off your feelings. And as crazy as that sounds for a woman, because we go through so many emotions, you have to take your personal feelings out of it and just look at the problem for what it is. So, for example, we can always use relationships because it's the easiest one. When you're talking to your man about something that he's doing that you don't like, instead of convicting him and pointing the finger by saying you, just say, this is the problem, how can we fix it, and what's our solution that we can come up with together. So you gotta take your emotions out of it, because it always turns left field when you are telling someone what they did wrong and you're not acknowledging what you also did wrong.
Yeah, I'm married. I know. I know
It's hard. Yeah, but see, it's easy for me to say this now. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not perfect. I may think that in my head, but when it comes to the situation, it's hard to step back from that and remember what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
So it's something that you have to practice.
No, because like I was gonna do a topic at home. Like I read this article, like 6 ways to have difficult conversations. I'm like, I can't. Let me just go ask other people.
Oh, and then that's a good one too. Can't. I never say can't. Oh. I cannot, because the minute you say can't, you're stopping yourself before you begin.
Mm-hmm. As a mom, now we're gonna switch after I talked about being married. So, as a mompreneur, like what challenges have you faced, or have you faced anything that felt like you were, because you're a mom, like do you feel slowed down? Because that's the biggest misconception about being a mompreneur.
It is, and the biggest thing that I face now is having enough time for the kids, because when you're building a business of your own, you are putting your heart, your soul, sweat, tears, money that you don't have, everything into making it work. And my biggest thing is time, because it's only 24 hours in a day, and those, your kids are at school for 8 hours out of the day. So when you come home, it's only a couple of hours before it's time for them to do chores. You have to cook homework, and by that time, you're so tired, you can't even keep your eyes open. So time.
I definitely know the feeling, because I do so much for Geek Moms Co. And the kids wanted to be involved so much, I ended up making Geek Kids Co.
Yeah.
Where me and the kids like spent time. That's when you see so many videos.
Definitely. And I love it. I love it.
And yeah, and that's what I found out. Like a lot of people love seeing the kids, and they love seeing them like have fun and all of that. So I was like, fine, let's just make this a thing, and we're gonna like film. So that's how I found ways to spend more time with them. Mm-hmm. But yeah, during the week, it's so hard.
It's difficult.
It's so hard.
It really is. So all those times when you want to say no, you have to think when you were a child and your parents told you no. You have to put yourself back into their shoes, because being an adult is hard. And we have to remember sometimes you have to be a kid in order for you to get through your adult issues.
Well, you just struck a chord with me, because like literally the last 2 days, like I just went home and I was like, leave me alone, don't say anything, I don't care what's going on, stop fighting, I don't care, just go to your room.
I'm trying to tell you. And
they're so sad. So now, like literally now as you're saying it, I'm like, oh God, I'm being a bad mom.
No, you're not. You're being a mother that's going through life, and stress is at an all-time high. I mean, we're looked for to be the provider, the comforter, the everything. But sometimes we're like, who's there for us? It's difficult.
Yeah, I just had that conversation with my nanny / friend, and I was telling her, like, I feel like I need an adult. I need a parent to go to help me get through this. What would you say to those who, because as I talked about the business and I grew Geek Moms, so I faced a lot of people who felt like I should focus on something more stable.
I love that. Yes. Okay, now we're going to go back a little further. When I first graduated from high school, I wanted to be a top stylist. I wanted to do celebrities. I wanted to have an awesome product line. I had everything laid out. I'm putting my mom out in a second. I'm sorry, y'all. I am sorry, mommy. I love you. But she told me, you should get a real job. And I was like, I was hurt, because I had been doing hair since I was 7 years old. And I was a tomboy, which was weird, but that's a whole nother conversation. But when she told me that, I was like, well, I don't know what else I can do. What can I do? So then from that point, I went to school for, what was it called? Sports Broadcast Communication. I said, okay, cool. I mean, I could talk. I don't know nothing about sports, but I think I could play it off. I couldn't. So I wound up coming back home, and I went to hair school. Actually, I went to nail school first. So I have my nail license, I have my hair license, and then I'm still doing communication. So it's like, it's all still being married together. So, I mean, when people tell you to find something stable, it's easy for them to look from the outside in. You know what drives you. Your heart is where it is. And it's funny, because when you listen to other people, you always wind up coming back to where your heart is every single time. So they can say what they want, be like, until you pay my bills, baby, it's just an opinion. And they just like booty holes. Everybody has one.
Yes.
I don't know if I can curse, so I was gonna keep it. I was gonna keep it PG.
I'm trying to think, do I curse? I probably do. I don't even know.
Man, I feel you. Sometimes I'm a little sailorish. I'm like, ooh, let's cut that back a little bit. Sometimes it don't look ladylike.
So going from that, like how does fear or success factor into your progress moving forward?
Now that is an awesome question. And funny enough, I go through this a lot. There's a lot of things that I have not done because I am afraid of success itself. So before I even begin, I talk myself out of it. I have several business proposals. I've had times where I can meet people and say, solidify the things that I'm trying to propose to them, but I just don't do it. And then I wonder to myself, why? And it's because, now this is funny, it's because I'm too busy worrying about everything outside of this instead of here.
Sorry.
So when it comes to fear, I've now looked it in the eye because I'm in a position with a job, a 9-to-5, where I absolutely hate. I despise this job, although it's gotten me to the place where I need to be to start my own. So fear right now is my fuel that I'm using in order for me to get to the next step. And I think it's necessary for every successful mompreneur.
Yeah.
Every successful one.
Oh yeah, a lot of my videos are boring.
Yeah. Yeah, but just think about the length of time that is and then what you're trying to say. So in society, the way it works now, even if you just watch TV for a second, the commercial is literally, 45 seconds? And that 45 seconds, they convey a long message in a really short time. But they have a lot of flash, flash, bang, bang, here it is, and I'm gone. Have that same mantra for your videos.
Yeah.
Because it's like, even though you want to tell the backdrop story, sometimes just draw them in. Just tell them like the middle part of the story so they can keep watching, so they can get the beginning and then the end. Sometimes you got to do things backwards in order for them to work.
Yeah.
Think about how people work now.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
It's so much pressure. Because like now, even like commercials are 45 seconds. I just read an article that people are going down to 6 seconds. I'm like, what am I supposed to do?
I'm trying to, girl. Right. See, so it's that 140 character brain.
Yeah.
If I can't tweet it, if I can't put it on Instagram, if I can't Snapchat it, then it's not important.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, a lot of adults they've adapted that, and I can't. I can't. That's why Convo exists.
Yeah. So let's see, I have to go back to my Icy Stars days, sorry. So okay, I'll ask like the big question that I usually ask at Icy Stars, which is, what do you want your legacy to be?
Oh, well, I think I need some time to think about this. Legacy. If anything, I want people to remember me for who I was as a person and what type of positivity that I want to spread. I don't care about how much money I had, what I looked like when I was on television. I want you to remember what it was that I was trying to do. And all that is teach. Teach. I mean, that's the foundation of everything. If you can't communicate how you feel, what do you have to stand on?
Awesome. Like, that is beautiful. Like, no, it really is. Because, like, people will be like, oh, I want money. I want a bunch of cars. Like, my legacy is to get a good job and die. I'm like, no, there's so much more you can do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And those material things are not going to get you any further in the ground. You can't take them with you. And I know people always say that it's so cliche, but I mean, you have to think about it. You came in this world butt naked with no clothes on, and you're going to leave, funny enough, with these expensive clothes and this expensive coffin and this free dirt.
Yeah.
What sense does that make? Anyone could get anything materialistic, but if you don't have anything that's in between your ears or anything to teach people, what good are you? Unfortunately.
Yeah. So I do have one more question. So for any mom, because this is pretty much what I'm doing, pushing moms into doing stuff.
Yes.
So for any moms out there who are on the fence or who have that fear and they're not ready yet to face that fear, like what advice would you give them to like get going?
Don't stop. Do not stop at any cost. It's so much easier to stop because you have so many adversities. You have homelessness. You have not having any money to feed your kids. You have no family around because they may all be deceased or disown you for something that you chose to do with your life. There's going to be a time where you have to pick up things and do it for yourself. The minute you stop, opportunity is right there because you've done all of this work to get you to this point. The minute you stop everything. And then keep in the back of your head, actually keep it in the front of your head. I'm doing this not for me, but for my kids.
Yep. Ooh. So yes, Twitter,
Yes.
Instas.
Indeed. All right, so to get in contact with Convo, if you need any type of advertisement, commercials, blogs, anything, you can get us on, what I say, Facebook first? Look, I talk so much, I can't remember. Facebook.
I know, not Twitter.
I know. No, not Twitter. Not Twitter. On Facebook is Convo.
Mm-hmm.
On Instagram, we are Convo _4U. Our email address is, hold on, I think I'm lying. Wait a minute. Excuse me, y'all. I'm going to check. That don't make no sense. How do I not know this? Get your life together, girl. Oh, yeah, that was right. Convo _4U for Instagram. For our email address is convo _4all@gmail.com.
Okay.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us and doing this interview with me.
Yes.
I'm
It was
so
a
thankful.
pleasure meeting you. You
Yes.
are awesome. And girl, you are going so many places. You don't even know yet.
Thank you. Oh, the last 3 days, I'm just like, oh my God. I just want to go cry in the corner. Like, oh my God, this is happening.
You can
This
cry
is
in the
happening.
corner, and then after that, girl, get back to your
Yeah,
business.
yeah.